I got in contact with James through a work colleague of mine had actually recommended James to me. I'd organised my first meeting with James. First meeting sort of very laid back. Uh, Me and James had mainly discussed sort of what my approach was to the exam, what could I change, which for me was mainly my focus. My focus was just not entirely there. What James had done, what James had helped me was he helped refocus me onto my exams. He found out why the reason, he dug deep, found out the reason why I wanted to do these exams, why I wanted to pass them, things like this, and reminded me of this. Then what he had done was we had actually met weekly, so he was reminding me every week. He kept it constant. He was reminding me every week, and what we were doing was doing past paper exams, and we were working on them, seeing how I can change my different exam technique, considering time, things like this here, things that maybe I wouldn't have paid much attention to before. But with James, then he had told me how important they were and what way to divide my time up over the exam paper, things like this. All these different sort of techniques that all sort of came and helped me with the difference, which gave me a lot better of a mark, let's just say, in August. There's a main difference between my summer exams and my August exams, and that was James and his techniques. I couldn't recommend him enough. He's very relaxed attitude about him. It's not all work. There's a bit of laughter in there too. So you don't get too bogged down with it. But yeah, I would highly recommend James. It was a big difference, big help in my exams. I continue to use techniques, and I continue to stay focused, continue to try and remind myself of why I'm doing these exams, things like this. It's just James sort of refocuses your whole attitude towards exams, which I find a massive difference. He just refocused my whole attitude, and I couldn't recommend him enough. If you're struggling a wee bit, or you just need someone just to give you a guide in the right direction, then James is the man. And I'd like to just take this opportunity to also say thanks to James.